Savannah. Y'all look so good. Give it up for Samaya, everybody. Thank you, Samaya. Thank you all so much for being here. And I want to, first of all, thank law enforcement, Savannah PD, everybody here keeping us safe. Give it up for them, please. Thank you. I want to ask every veteran in the room, please raise your hand high and be honored by all of us. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Now, Savannah, I'm here with a report from our nation's capital. And it's not good news. See, it turns out that when Donald Trump said he was going to fight for working class Americans, what he really meant was he was going to take away your health care to cut taxes for the rich. That's what he really meant. Now, you may remember we were told that this was a different Republican Party. We were told Donald Trump's new GOP cared about working people. But Savannah, you can't claim to be for working men and women when you defund their hospitals and nursing homes. You can't claim to be for working men and women when you defund school lunch programs to help feed little boys and little girls whose hardworking parents are struggling to fill the fridge. You definitely can't claim to be for working men and women when you do these things so you can cut taxes for the richest people in the country. Now, there was a Republican senator with the integrity to oppose this, Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Did y'all see that? He was on the Senate floor. He was pleading with Republicans to do the right thing. Senator Tillis warned that 663,000 North Carolinians will be pushed off Medicaid. He warned that President Trump was breaking his promises. He took a stand and he voted against the bill, and they ran him right out of the Republican Party for it. Now, it took courage, what Senator Tillis did. But among the Republicans who represent Georgia in Congress, no such courage was to be found. Just, yes, sir, no, sir, Mr. Trump. Now, let me tell you, let me just tell you what it was like in Washington these last 6 months. See, we had the leaders of Georgia's clinics and hospitals and nursing homes, caregivers for seniors and the disabled, nurses and doctors, teachers and school principals, the folks who run food pantries. They all came up to Washington and they begged Georgia's representatives in Congress. They said, please don't do this. They said it's going to be devastating for health care and kids and seniors. And I want you to know, but Senator Warnock and I, we listened. We listened. And we fought that bill with everything we have, and we voted no. We put Georgia first, Savannah. But every single Republican member of Congress who is supposed to represent Georgia, who is supposed to put loyalty to Georgia as their highest priority, instead, they chose loyalty to Donald Trump. Think about this. They're destroying the Medicaid program when 40% of all kids in Georgia are covered by Medicaid. 50% of all births, 50% of all births in Georgia are covered by Medicaid. 70% of all seniors in nursing homes in Georgia are covered by Medicaid. There are now 37 Georgia nursing homes at risk of closure because of this law, and 7 of them are less than 2 hours from where we are right now. Do you all remember what Donald Trump said about Medicaid? He said, "We're not going to touch it. We're not going to touch it." Direct quote. It's like Senator Tillis said, a broken promise, and one of many. President Trump promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files? So many broken promises. More people are unemployed. The wars are still raging. The debt is exploding. Oil drilling is slowing down. Prices are going up. The other day I was watching part of an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, which you never know what you're going to get. But just a few weeks ago, Marjorie said of the Trump administration, she said, "We, as in MAGA," Marjorie said, "we've been in power for 6 months, and I was so excited in the beginning, thinking there's nothing we can't do." And then Marjorie said, "But 6 months in, there's literally nothing we can do." Well, they have done one thing. They've destroyed Medicaid and defunded hospitals and added $4 trillion to the debt to cut taxes for the rich. And by the way, Marjorie, it's not too late to run for the Senate. Don't listen to the polls, Marjorie. You can do it. We believe in you. We believe in you, Marjorie. $4 trillion. That's trillion with a T, to the national debt. I don't want to hear another Republican member of Congress ever again pretend to care about deficits and debt. These cowards and hypocrites in the Freedom Caucus, they make their entire fake persona about cutting deficits. And then they get threatened with a primary and they fold for a Big Mac on Air Force One. So now, our kids and our kids' kids and their grandkids have $4 trillion more debt to pay down. And it's not even like it's for a good cause. It's so someone worth $50 million can buy another vacation home to visit once a year. Meanwhile, there are plenty of things that are worth public investment. I would like one of my Republican colleagues to explain why an American family has to pay $3,000 to ride a few miles in an ambulance to the hospital, when we're handing out $1 million tax breaks to the wealthiest people in the country. I want to hear them explain that. Or why they're canceling the projects that actually can make a difference for hardworking people in our state. Do you all know Thomasville, Georgia? Yes. Thomas County, just a few miles from the Florida line, small, rural. Thomasville's never gotten much love from Washington. There's short health care options, the infrastructure's old. So a couple years back, we allocated federal funds to help them build a new health clinic and upgrade their sewers. The health clinics and sewers didn't used to be controversial. But then out of nowhere, the Trump administration canceled the grant for Thomasville. Y'all know why? First, because the project had the word justice in it. And justice is now a forbidden word in Washington. And second, because a tiny amount of the grant was for electric lawnmowers to maintain the new facilities. And electric vehicles, which were supposed to be Georgia's economic future, are now considered woke. So no more health clinic, no more sewer upgrades for Thomasville. See, they're all trapped in this right-wing internet ideology. Battery-powered lawnmowers make them feel unsafe. Diversity and justice are too triggering. These are the guys who were going to end cancel culture. Do you remember that? Now they're trying to cancel Big Bird. No, literally, they're trying to cancel Big Bird. We are voting next week on their bill to defund public television. They are boldly standing up to Elmo and the deep state woke mob. Do you remember when J.D. Vance gave a whole big lecture to foreign leaders in Europe about free speech? Well, now J.D. Vance will throw you in a Homeland Security dungeon for writing an op-ed he doesn't like. See, what's happening to our country right now should chill us to the bone. The use of official power to intimidate and destroy critics and political opponents, law firms, universities. A government that openly defies the courts while federal troops police our cities. A president threatening to strip Americans of their citizenship and send them to foreign prisons. Before you elected me, I led a team that exposed corruption and war crimes all over the world. And we worked in places where criticizing the government is dangerous, where whistleblowers and witnesses have to meet in secret, where protest carries the risk of prosecution. And Savannah, when the federal police are wearing masks, that's a real bad sign. That's a real bad sign. Because fear is the currency of tyranny. And I've heard it from people at every level, including people with power, people with status, people with resources. They come to my office and they tell me they're afraid to say anything. They're afraid of retribution, investigation, destruction, vengeance from their own government. Donald Trump wants the whole country to fear him. He's attacking the freedom of the press. He's enlisting intelligence contractors to harvest our data and profile us. He's still working to undermine elections. Remember, this guy already tried once to overthrow the government. The same day you sent me and Raphael Warnock to the Senate, his mob sacked the Capitol building. You remember that, Savannah? On January 5th, you elected us. On January 6th, they tried to seize power and failed. But on January 7th, we got to work for Georgia. We got to work. We got to work. We capped the price of insulin for seniors. We expanded Social Security for teachers, police officers, and first responders. We saved more than 1 million pensions from insolvency. We delivered the biggest investment in HBCUs of all time, Savannah. We confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court of the United States. We upgraded infrastructure in every part of our state. We unleashed a manufacturing renaissance, creating jobs here in coastal Georgia and statewide. And none of that would have happened without Georgia. None of that would have happened without you, Savannah. You did that. But now that they're in power, In the same bill that defunded hospitals to cut taxes for the rich, they made the budget for mass deportations larger than the FBI, ATF, DEA, and the Bureau of Prisons combined. It'll be the largest domestic police force in American history. The ones with masks. Now, they say it's about crime and drugs and gangs and human trafficking and cartels, and those are serious threats that need to be confronted. The cartels should be crushed, the border should be secure, the human traffickers should be brought to justice, and their victims liberated. And if someone's in this country illegally and commits a crime, they have to leave. But they're snatching people with no records, even folks with work permits. They're tearing families apart. A lot of them have kids or spouses who are American citizens. Some of them are American citizens. They sent 11-year-old and 4-year-old little girls, both American citizens, both in the middle of cancer treatment, to Mexico and Honduras because their parents were undocumented. They sent a mother who was still breastfeeding her 1-year-old U.S. citizen baby to Cuba without her child. And the little baby wound up in the hospital after being ripped from her mother's breast. There was a man in California, a father of 3 sons, all 3 sons United States Marines. The guy had no criminal record. And they didn't just take him, they punched him in the head over and over and over again as he lay in the ground in broad daylight on camera. Did you see that? Yes. If that's what they're doing in public, what do you think is happening in these detention centers? Now, when you've got a government like this, it always comes with personal corruption. And the Trumps are using the office of the presidency to enrich themselves in a way we have never, ever seen in American history. You guys are following Trump's crypto thing, right? The meme coin? So there's a guy named Justin Sun. He's a Chinese billionaire oligarch. A couple years ago, the SEC starts investigating this guy for securities fraud. Now, maybe he's guilty, maybe he's not, I don't know. That's not the point. Because last year, Mr. Justin Sun, the Chinese billionaire under investigation by the U.S. government for securities fraud, starts investing tens of millions of dollars in Donald Trump's crypto business. To the point where he says he's become the #1 holder in the world of the Trump coin. Are you surprised to hear his federal case has gone away? And then a few weeks ago, he's having dinner with the president. Because if you give the president cash, you get to have dinner with him. That's a thing we're doing in America now. The president's personal wealth is skyrocketing, and the whole royal family is cashing in. Jared Kushner's firm got $2 billion from the Saudi royal family. Don Jr. and Eric are closing real estate deals all over the world. Like, Hunter Biden should have had more ambition. Remember how that was their #1 thing? Now Trump is getting money from foreign businessmen under federal investigation, and his boys are all over the world closing deals right before he touches down on state visits. Eric said the other day, he said, we're the hottest brand in the world right now. It's amazing the opportunities that open up when your daddy's the president and the whole world thinks he takes bribes. But the truth is that corruption in America runs a lot deeper than Donald Trump. See, I get why people voted for him. Because even before he came on the scene, America had the most corrupt political system in the Western world. It's been running on corporate money, secret money, billionaire money, both sides. And it's worse than ever now. Citizens United was the worst court decision in modern American history. And when members of Congress aren't begging for money from lobbyists, they're trying to dodge getting carpet bombed by these super PACs. Senators get threatened every day with millions and millions of dollars of attack ads over the votes that we take. And see, this is why nothing works for ordinary people. It's not because of woke college kids or trans students or because there are interracial couples in cereal commercials. It's because the people's elected representatives don't represent the people, they represent the donors. And that corruption is why they just defunded nursing homes to cut taxes for the rich. Corruption is why you pay a fortune for prescriptions. Corruption is why your insurance claim keeps getting denied. Corruption is why hedge funds get to buy up all the houses in your neighborhood, driving you out of the market, and then your corporate landlord ignores your calls during a gas leak. Corruption is why that ambulance costs $3,000 after you just had to get your choking toddler to the hospital. So Trump promised to attack a broken system. I get it. Ripe target. But here's the thing, he's a crook and a con man, and he wants to be a king. Yes, the system really is rigged, but Trump's not unrigging it, he's re-rigging it for himself. Savannah, trust me when I tell you, if we live up to our obligations as citizens, we will overcome this, Savannah. We will. We will. And once again, the country is counting on Georgia to lead the way. 5 years ago, when Raphael and I were running, they said there was no way. They wanted us to give in to doubt and fear and despair. But Savannah, out of no way, we made a way. And the state of Georgia, the heart of the old Confederacy and the cradle of the civil rights movement, sent a black pastor who holds Dr. King's pulpit at Ebenezer Baptist Church and the young Jewish son of an immigrant to represent you in the United States Senate. You did that, Savannah. You did that, Savannah. See, when they told us there was no way, we knew better. We knew we were on the right side of history, and we knew we could win. And I'm telling you, Savannah, just like I could feel it then, I can feel it right now. Can you feel it, Savannah? Can you feel it, Savannah? Savannah, that's what you feel. That's what you feel when your cause is just. That's how it feels when you push on the arc of history and it starts bending toward justice. In my Senate office, just above my desk, there's a portrait of Congressman Lewis. And if the congressman were here, he might remind us what happened in Savannah in 1960, when sit-ins at segregated lunch counters led to boycotts, that led to voter registration drives, that led to a new city government. And the congressman might remind us that within a year, that new city government desegregated those lunch counters. And by 1963, the businesses and public spaces, so that by 1964, Dr. King told the world that Savannah was the most desegregated city in the South. Savannah. Savannah, you've led the way before. Are you ready to lead again? The fight against Jim Crow was a struggle for universal civil and human rights. And even after the great victories of that movement, that is still our struggle. Congressman Lewis always reminded us of that too. And today our fight is against deeply entrenched corruption and greed. Corruption and greed that have so deeply rotted our system that it gave rise to this depraved man who has now plagued our public life for a decade. But 5 years ago here in Georgia, we lit a beacon of hope and possibility for the whole nation and the whole world, and that beacon is still shining, Savannah. And come next November, we will raise that beacon higher. Come next November, we will do our part to end this spiral into chaos and corruption, Savannah. And then there will again be so much work to do, because our possibilities are limitless. And even once we've ended this president's reign, we have to learn its lessons. It's the grip of money on our politics that led us to this moment of crisis. And so even when this fight is won, and we will win it, the fight against corruption, not of one man, but of an entire system, will define whether America becomes what America can be for all its people. Do you hear me, Savannah? We know here in Georgia that the measure of our success is not how many of the poorest and most vulnerable families we hunt down and shackle and imprison and deport. The measure of our success is whether each generation achieves greater freedom and health and prosperity than the last, and whether we live up to the promise of equal justice for all. Savannah, are you ready to fight? Savannah, are you ready to win? Georgia will bow to no king, Savannah. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.